All right. Welcome back again to Coop Radio. Not been much going on around here besides me being inundated with war stuff. Everything US and Iranian war related and Israel and all the other crazy shit that's going on overseas, which doesn't seem to be a new thing. It seems like every couple of years or so there's always a reminder to everybody, hey, there's always somebody fighting over there, whether it's Saudi Arabia related, or it's Iraq related, or it's Israel related, or it's Iran related, or it's Jordan related, or it's, you know, whatever other Middle Eastern country, it's Egypt related. There's always somebody over there trying to fight with somebody around them. And it always goes back to that Louis C.K. joke that I remember seeing years ago of like, even when he was a kid, it was always the somebody's fighting in the Middle East, somebody's having problems over there, where it's like those are just the guys that just fight, like at some point, how can you really care? But to me, to be quite honest, like I'm not the most well versed in all of this, but I think that there's one thing I know I can say. This might be a short one, but I'm not the most well versed in war. I'm not the most well versed in political conflicts or, you know, who's really the good guy, who's really the bad guy, that kind of thing. But I'm also not blind to just because I live in the United States that it means that everything the United States does is correct. It also does not mean that, you know, we're the bad guys. And I think that even that term in itself is incorrect in the sense that nobody's really a good guy or a bad guy. It's just there's one side or the other side. Just because you're going to think you're the good guy because that's where you are and that's the information you're fed. Every country in a way has its own propaganda that it feeds its people. And, in a lot of ways, everybody here in the United States and in every other country around the world is all, victims of that. Everybody falls for it. It's hard not to. When that's all you're being fed is propaganda, when all you're being fed is what they want you to see, whatever conflict or whatever is happening in the world, if they want you to see it a certain way, they're going to make sure you see it in a certain way. Whether it's by the information that it shows you and allows you to see, whether it's the news organizations that, all across the world give you the certain information that they want you to know, so that if and when something happens that said country decides to do, you're going to be in support of it because that's all you've been fed, is that this is what we need to do. This is what we should be doing for our own self-interest. As far as the whole U.S.-Iran thing, I'm not going to sit here and I can't be like some other people online where I can sit here and I can give you a well-versed explanation as to why this is happening and what's really going on. I can only see and talk about what I've seen myself. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I just don't understand where the benefit is for us. I really don't understand where the benefit is for us specifically. What is the benefit for us as a country to involve ourselves in something that really we had no reason to be involved in? Why are we getting involved in something that, although because, we are, quote, allies with Israel, which I'm not even sure is our choice, why are we getting involved in somebody else's business that we didn't really need to be involved in? That is now risking lives of United States citizens, both in the military and just regular citizens living day to day in major metropolitan cities. That's the part that I don't understand. And people will give you the explanation of, well, it's the simplified, they're just bad people. They do bad things. Don't you know that they're crazy? They worship a different religion. They have different morals and values. They don't like us. Well, maybe there's a reason they don't like us. You don't not like somebody for no reason. You don't come to the conclusion that those people are bad for no reason. You have to have a precursor as to why you came to that conclusion. And people will say it's because our morals and values are different and that's why they don't like us. Well, guess what? There are how many other people that live in that same area, the same Middle Eastern area, that all do like us, that have different morals and values than we do. So, Iran not being fans of us, and more specifically, not getting along with Israel, there has to be obviously a reason for that. And I think that people are forgetting, because again, you're fed the propaganda to forget about it, that Israel's the fucking people who started this. They're the ones who fired the first shot. So at the same time, while we're sitting here getting involved in something that we shouldn't even be getting involved in, we're on the side that started this shit. We're on the side that started this conflict, that started this now war. And this is not going to be a short-term thing. This issue with Iran is not going to be over tomorrow. People will point at, how quickly Iraq fell, or how quickly the recent thing with Venezuela ended. My more immediate thinking is, just because some sort of conflict ends immediately or ends quickly, do you think that like the people that live there in Iran, let's say that this conflict ends in a week or 2 weeks or a month with Iran, and Israel topples Iran, the Iran falls apart, and this conflict ends in, like I said, a couple weeks or a month. Do you think the people of Iran, the people who live there, do you think that all of a sudden they're just going to bend the knee? And that there's not going to be any sort of retaliation whatsoever, that they'll just fold over for us and they won't do anything? And the thing is that because people will say that and they will point out, like, there's going to be obvious retaliation. There's going to be some people that see their brothers and sisters, that see the people that they live with get killed, see their country get destroyed, get ran over by Israel and by the United States. If that were to happen to you, would you fold? Would you just roll over and just bend the knee for whomever? No, there would be a large swath of people that would say, fuck this, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to bend the knee for China, for Russia, for whoever. I'm not going to bend the knee for them. I'm going to hit them back where it hurts. I'm going to try to do something back to them because they hurt me. They hurt my fellow citizens. They hurt my country. This thing with Iran is not going to be a short-term thing. But even if it was, I guarantee you that there's going to be a large swath of people that live over there that are going to say, fuck the United States, fuck these people, we're going to do something back. It could very well spark another 9/11. Oh, but we wouldn't allow that. The security measurements would be too high, blah, 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 blah. You don't think these people can figure something out? This is not, just because it happens in 2 weeks or a month or so that this conflict could end, do you think that people don't hold grudges? That this wouldn't continue on for years and years and years, and years down the line somebody would gather a group of people up and be able to do something? Oh, but don't worry, the United States will sell you on the idea of that being the case, and so therefore they will sell you, that's why we need more security. That's why we need to watch you more. That's why we need to have more abilities to spy on everybody and everything and know what's happening everywhere at all times, for your safety, for your security. Not to hold the thumb over you. No, we wouldn't use it for that. We wouldn't use it to make sure that we keep you in line and we control you and we can do whatever we want and then you can't respond or do anything back to us because we have the thumb on you. No, it wouldn't be used for that. Of course not. Because trust the crazy psychopathic child molesters that are in the current government right now and across all government in the United States. Trust those people, right? Trust the people who are willing to go to islands and rape kids and, molest kids for fun. Trust those people, right? Trust that they have the best interests in mind for you. And this goes for both sides. It doesn't matter right or left, Democrat or Republican. Right now, they're all shit. And growing up, I think, is realizing that they always have been. It really is just choosing whatever devil you want to align with. Whatever devil is worse is what you are choosing. Whatever garbage human being is a little bit worse this week is the one you want to align yourself with. And this week, everybody's saying, well, we need to vote left. We need to vote Democrat because God knows we don't want to be in another regime change war. God knows we don't want more people getting killed on the United States soil. God knows we don't want more people being in harm's way of something that we shouldn't even be involved in. So now the pendulum is swinging back to the left. Just like with all of the complete idiocies of the previous 4 years when the left was in control, the pendulum swung back to the right. And said, look at the gas prices, look at the state of the country, look at all of the crazy riots and the stupidity that's in government right now. Look at the guy who's sitting up on the podium speaking to us and he can't even put two coherent words together. And he's our president. And that's what caused the pendulum to swing back to the right. And now it's swinging back to the left again because of the stupidity of the shit we're doing now. Just because I don't want our country to get involved in a war with Iran does not mean I'm in support of Iran either. But at some point, why are we fighting all this? Why are we fighting all these wars and supplying Israel as much as we are? Why are we constantly backing every stupid decision that they make blindly? Did you ever ask yourself that question? Why is it that Israel constantly is wanting to obviously expand its own territory, expand its borders, try its best to make sure that everyone around them is under the thumb of Israel, and yet we're helping them do it. Yet we're helping them push that idea. And people will also say, well, Israel's the catalyst and they're an ally of us, so we'd want to help them. Do you really believe that Israel and the United States government are actually truly allies? Like we're actually friends? Like we actually get along? Or is it the obvious fact that Israel has some sort of thumb on us and is power playing us and using us for their own self-interests? For their own selfish gain. Guarantee you Israel has nuclear warheads of their own, and at the same time, they probably came to us and said, look, if you don't do our bidding for us, if you don't strike Iran for us, we're just going to drop a fucking nuke on their asses, and that'll be the end of that. And that will inevitably start World War III 1,000%. But instead of being able to negotiate our way out of this or try to find a way to get both sides to calm down, more specifically get Israel to calm down, we are just bending the knee ourselves, and we are just giving in ourselves. That's why the United States has gone to the Iran and basically begged them, please don't strike back. Please don't do this. just bend, just fold, please. Because we don't want to escalate this any further. We don't want this to go any further. We want this to just stop here. Can you just bend to Israel, please? Can you just fold and give them what they want? And to me, that is just, in so many ways, I don't know how you watch this and are like, yay. Like, I'm so excited for this. This is great. How do you sit there as a normal fucking human being and watch that and go, yeah, this is great? What's the precursor for us attacking Iran? Because Israel told us to? And you clap for that? So what you're basically saying is that you're happy to be bending the knee and folding and doing the bidding for some other country. But I thought we were number one. I thought we were the biggest country on the world. I thought we were the best at everything. But okay, that's fine. Just bend the knee to somebody else and be okay with it. And don't ever question why we're over there doing anything at all ever. Don't ever question why we're getting ourselves involved in wars that don't concern us. Don't ever question why we tried to force Ukraine to join NATO and cause the conflict with Russia and Ukraine. Don't ever question why we also, down the line, never actually wanted to try to get Ukraine to sign some sort of peace treaty and make peace with Russia. Don't ever question that. Don't ever question anything the U.S. government ever does, as long as it's a right-wing guy involved. And it'd be the same thing if the left-wing guy was involved. If the left-wing guy was in there making all these decisions, don't ever question him because he's a left-wing guy. Because he's your side of your political beliefs. What you sign yourself up to agree with. It is possible as a human being to have multiple different opinions on things. You can agree with some things that one side aligns themselves with, while at the same time agreeing with things that the other side also aligns themselves with. That is possible. But it seems like now, no one is able to do that. You either are 100% on one side or 100% on the other. And human beings in nature are complicated, and so that right there does not make sense. That you have to compromise some of your values and be 100% on one side and never question it. Almost like a cult. And no matter what happens, die with that side.
And its navy, which might be able to close the Strait of Hormuz.
Doesn't make any sense. I'm lost on that. I really am. I just had Nick Fuentes play in the background out of nowhere. I don't even know why that sparked. My whole point in this little rant here is just the fact that I know I don't see a good ending in this. There's no good ending. What are the possible outcomes here? Okay, so here are some of the possible outcomes. We get involved in some regime change war with Israel and Iran. One possibility is Iran fights back and strikes against the United States, killing United States citizens. Very possible. Well, you would say, well, then we just bomb the country off the planet. Well, good job. Because now by bombing Iran off the planet, you now create other enemies who were also aligned with Iran, who are then going to be pissed because you just wiped Iran off the map and are now again going to go to war with us and attack us again, only escalating the conflict more, and then now you have World War III. What's the other possibility? Iran folds. Iran bends the knee to Israel and to the United States, and it aligns itself with Israel. Well, congratulations. Israel is now just going to not, they're not going to stop there. If you think that, like, oh, okay, they've conquered Iran, they've gotten Iran to be on their side, and now whatever leader is in power in Iran is who they want to be in power, and aligns themselves with Israel and follows them. You think Israel's just going to stop here? They're only going to continue to expand and continue to try to have their fingers in other countries all around them and continuously expand themselves. They're only going to try to make themselves even a bigger superpower than they already are. And now, good job. You've created another major superpower who I guarantee you down the line will not be aligned with the United States. If and when the day comes that Israel has the ability to topple us, you don't think they will? How many of those frickin' Middle Eastern countries who have been, quote, our allies have risen up in power, and then the minute they get a chance, they turn on us? They jump on us. Trying to keep the peace and have everybody over there be as calm and even keel as we possibly can, even though we know none of those countries like each other and are always fighting over something in some way, shape, or form. Trying to keep them all calm is our best bet. Believe it or not. So you can sit there and just shout the propaganda of America, fuck yeah, kind of shit. But at the end of the day, can you open your eyes and take your head out of your ass and realize what we're actually doing? Just because the country or the government makes a decision and tells you this is what's right, we should be attacking people, you're just going to immediately follow them? Like there's no consequences whatsoever? Like there's no chance that you could be harmed in this in any way, shape, or form? Like this, like maybe, oh, I don't know, this could be a bad idea. Like maybe this isn't the best thing to do actually for the United States, and maybe it's the best thing for someone else. Oh, but shout the propaganda as far as loud and as far as you can. Continuously believe that whatever the government tells you, God forbid, the government could never lie to you. The government would never lie to you. They would never feed news organizations to tell you what they want you to hear so that you continuously believe in the country and believe in the government and follow them to the end. And that there's no pushback, there's no fight back against it. We're out here distracting ourselves in these small little things that shouldn't even that don't concern us, instead of focusing on other things that we should be concerned about. The only issues that we have in our own country, we're more concerned about Israel's interests. And it's not a Jew hate thing. This has nothing to do with Jewish people. It is simply to do with one country is having us do their bidding for them, is pulling us into something that doesn't concern us under the guise of being a, quote, ally. What a great ally they are. What a great friend. Is that what good friends do? Is to put it in the most layman's terms I could think of. Is that what a good friend does? Does a good friend go out, cause issues with somebody, get into a fight with somebody, and then the minute that they get into the fight, they turn to their other bigger friend and go, hey, jump in for me and beat the shit out of this guy? What a great friend. Thank you. Thank you for involving me in your mess that you created, and then you turned around and cowered and said, we didn't start it. They did. Real smart. And meanwhile, people here in the country are more concerned about other stupid shit that doesn't matter. I love sports as much as the next guy, but Jesus Christ, at some point, sports takes a back seat to like real world shit. I love hockey. Cool. It's great that the USA won both gold medals, but like, Jesus, that doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't fucking matter. The Olympics hasn't mattered in like 50 fucking years. No one's cared. No one with a life cares. Boomers and mental retards are the ones who care. If we weren't in such shit, maybe it would matter more. Because it's some small, fun entertainment thing. But does us winning the gold medal in the fucking hockey Olympics all of a sudden make us the best? Does that all of a sudden mean again, oh, all is right with the world again? Because we won the hockey gold medal. Never mind the fact that we're off getting ourselves involved in some stupid ass shit that shouldn't even concern us. We won the gold medal though. That's like boomer ass Facebook people thoughts. Just not concerned at all about anything outside in the real world. Just what happens on my television screen that distracts me from the real world. That's what matters. At the end of the day, people are going to care what they want to care about. You know, if you want to sit there and you want to distract yourself and you can't handle the real world, if you can't handle what's really happening overseas and what we're really getting ourselves involved in, and you can't be involved in it. You don't want to hear about it. You don't want anything to do with it. Fine. You want to stick your head in the sand and ignore the real world. Fine. I can't control your life. You want to hide from the real world? Hide from the real world. You go right ahead. But then to hide from the real world and then just tell all of us who aren't hiding from the real world, who are actually seeing all of the stupidity that we are actually getting ourselves involved in, and then therefore pointing it out. Don't point at us and go like, you guys are just stupid. You guys are just haters. You guys are, you guys just hate the U.S., blah, 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 blah. What are you with, Iran? Because that's what a retard says. A retard's response to that is, what do you like, Iran? What are you with the Iranian people? No, I'm just pointing out the obvious fact that we're doing some really dumb shit and getting involved in something that does not concern us and putting ourselves in harm's way for no good fucking reason. But God forbid you point that out. You must just be with Iran. You must just hate America. No, I actually like the place I live. I actually like America as a country. That's why I'm pointing this out. Because I don't want to wake up one day and realize that, oh, wait a minute, the country around me that I used to love that was built on something so amazing and so great is now collapsing around me because a bunch of fucking weirdo pedophiles have brought it down to nothing. I don't want to live to see that day. But the more and more stupid decisions that we make as a country, the closer and closer we continuously keep getting to that. And how you can't see that and you just ignore it, to me, is what just bothers the shit out of me. They sell you on this bag of goods like everything's all good. Everything's all peachy. Don't worry about anything we're doing. Keep just paying attention to your sports. Keep focusing on the U.S. hockey team. Keep focusing on the men's team that just won gold. Keep focusing on the women's team that just won gold. Keep focusing on U.S. is the best because we won at hockey. Ignore the fact that we're bombing Iran and getting involved in something that doesn't involve us, and now going to probably being involved in another regime change war. The 50th. Ignore that. I really don't want to wake up one day and have this place not be what it is now. The free country and the ability to make what you wanted to make with your life. And I don't want to see this thing topple around me. But again, it's so tough to not have that feeling in the back of your head when shit like this is constantly happening. Bad decision after bad decision. And again, what I don't understand is how people at the same time can see the same exact type of people who are, like I said, off on fucking random remote islands raping kids for fun. My fun vacation is to go off and rape kids. Isn't this so much fun? It's just like your vacation to Hawaii, only I go to a remote island and I just fuck kids. While I make you go back to the front lines, get back to the front. I don't care that your leg just got blown off. Get back to the front. I'm off fucking a kid, but you need to get up and get back in the front lines. Go to Israel and fight regime change wars for us while I go fuck your child. Go off to Iran and die in a fucking random-ass country across the world while I have sex with your child. While I kidnap your child and I rape him. Yeah, that's what I want to align myself with, right, guys? That's what we should be aligning ourselves with, right? Push aside the raping kids thing. Push that aside. Forget about that. It's USA first, right? You wonder why no one fucking takes any of you people seriously. Is because this is the shit that you do. You revolve and you forget about shit just as quickly as the news actually does. The news will be on one tragedy one day, and the very next day it'll be on to something else, and you'll completely forget about it. How fucking quick did the news move on from the Ukraine-Russia conflict? How fast did they just forget that existed? You got all these fucking dipshits around my area and all over the country who had Ukrainian flags hanging out of their fucking houses. Instead of the actual U.S. flag, they had the Ukrainian flag hanging out their fucking doors. And how quickly, the minute that whole ice raid shit happened, how quickly did they move on from Ukraine? And all of a sudden, all those Ukraine flags got taken down and got replaced with ice out flags or ice out signs or fuck ice signs. How quickly did that change? And how quickly did all that other ice stuff change? And now all of a sudden we're on to Israel and Iran. Don't worry, in a few weeks, we'll be off that. We'll be forgetting about that. It'll be something else. It'll be some other stupid thing in the news that we'll move on from, and we'll forget about the Iran-Israel thing. And then that way, they'll distract you from that, and they'll go right ahead, and they'll just topple Iran, and you won't give a fuck. And you won't actually listen or know why this is happening. You'll just forget. And there'll be a whole bunch of shit that happens over there that either you won't hear about or you won't care to listen about. But don't worry, down the line, it'll bite you in the ass. Because one day, some refugees from Iran will gather something up. They'll put some together. They'll attack some major metropolitan city. They'll either do some sort of mass shooting event, or they'll bomb some building, or they'll do some other fucking tragedy, and you'll sit there and go, why would they do that? I don't understand. Why do they hate us? What terrible... It must be them. They just must be terrible people that just hate us for no reason. It couldn't possibly be the fact that we got involved in something years prior and they don't have memories of goldfish like we do. And they hate the fact that we got involved in something that didn't even involve us in the first place. And we went ahead and killed all their brothers and sisters and killed all of their people and destroyed their country. At the end of the day, you can sit there and you can chant rah-rah for the place that you live, but blindly chanting for it and never questioning, like never, ever, ever questioning anything that we ever do is just as fucking stupid. It is the dumbest thing you can do. You are literally putting your head in the sand and you're just making sure you're blind to it all. Go ahead. Be blind to it all. Never question anything. Always follow whatever the country speaker tells you to do. Never push back. Never question. Never stop and think for 1 second that your side might not be making the right choice. Might not be doing the right thing. Might be doing something that would ultimately harm you in the long run. This is not a short run thing. That's the thing, is like, you can sit there and say, well, this will be over soon and it'll never come back to bite us. But it always comes back to bite us. It always does. It's always that stupid ass fucking thing where people just think for some crazy reason that it's like a mission in a video game or something to them. But they think because you shoot that person and you shoot this group of people, once you finish the story of the game, it's just over. There's no repercussions whatsoever. It just stops there. This isn't a video game. This is real fucking life. For all the people that you shoot and kill, you're making more and more enemies. The more and more you get yourself involved in wars and conflicts that shouldn't even involve you, the more enemies you're creating. The more people that are going to want to in turn retaliate back against you. I don't like Iran, and I don't like Israel. I don't like any fucking country that's in the Middle East. I want nothing to do with them. And that's my point, is why are we even getting involved in anything over there? You shouldn't be. But back to the front. Just forget about anything that you were told before. Don't listen to any other outside sources. Don't have any other opposing opinions. Back to the front. Get back in line. Why are you questioning? Get back in line. Is that how you want to live your life? Is that what you want to be? The guy that's told get back in line and you immediately follow suit? Never question anything we do. We only have the best interests at heart for you because our track record is so great, right? The track record of the United States is so great as far as always making the right decisions for everybody else that is involved in the country. And never have they ever shown that they could possibly be corrupt in some way, shape, or form, or that maybe they might not actually have the best interests at heart for the American people. No, just back to the front. Back to the front of the line. Nameless, faceless number. The minute you start believing that any single government official in any sector, in any bit of government, in any branch of government cares about you and actually wants what's best for you, you've lost the plot. You have lost the plot. But don't worry. You'll just get back in line. You'll just get back to the front. Anyways, I'm done. I'll see you all next week. Take it easy.